What if I told you that most Christians are praying in a way that Jesus specifically warned against, and they have no idea they're doing it? Not because they lack faith, but because they've been taught a version of prayer that sounds spiritual but misses the entire point. Today that changes. We've all heard it. Pray harder, pray longer, pray louder. As if God is some distant boss who only responds when you beg enough times. But here's what Jesus actually said in Matthew 6:7-8. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. Read that again slowly. Jesus didn't say pray more. He said stop praying like you're trying to convince God of something he already knows. So if praying harder isn't the answer, what is? Let me show you what Jesus actually meant, and I promise you this will completely shift how you approach God. First, understand what vain repetitions really means. It's not about repeating a prayer. Jesus himself prayed the same thing 3 times in the Garden of Gethsemane. The issue isn't repetition. It's emptiness. It's praying without meaning, rattling off words like a script, hoping the volume or length will move God's hand. Think about it. When someone you love talks to you, do you want them reading from a card, saying the same thing over and over, or do you want their heart? God is not impressed by your word count. He's listening for your honesty. The Pharisees prayed long prayers on street corners. Jesus called them hypocrites. Why? Because their prayers were performances, not conversations. They were praying at God, not with him. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of us do the same thing. We say the right words, we use the right tone, but our heart isn't in it. We're just checking a box. So what should you do instead? Here's the first thing. Pray with awareness, not automation. Jesus said your Father knows what you need before you ask. That means prayer is not about informing God. It's about aligning yourself with him. It's not a transaction. It's a relationship. When you come to God, don't just recite your list. Pause, breathe, acknowledge who you're talking to. This is the creator of the universe, and he already sees you. He already knows your situation. So instead of saying, God, please help me with this, over and over, try this. Father, I'm struggling with this and I know you see it. I trust you. Show me what I need to learn here. See the difference? One is begging, the other is trusting. One is trying to get God's attention. The other is resting in the fact that you already have it. Second, pray with simplicity, not complexity. Right after Jesus warned against vain repetitions, he gave us the Lord's Prayer. And it's short, shockingly short. No fancy language, no 10-minute build-up. Just honest, direct communication. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. Lead us not into temptation. That's it. That's the model. It's not about how long you pray. It's about how real you are when you do. Some of the most powerful prayers in the Bible are one sentence. Lord, save me. Peter said that while sinking, and Jesus immediately reached out his hand. God, be merciful to me, a sinner. The tax collector prayed that in Luke 18, and Jesus said he went home justified. Jesus, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. The thief on the cross said that, and Jesus promised him paradise that very day. You don't need a script. You need sincerity. Third, pray with faith, not fear. Here's where most people get stuck. They pray the same thing over and over because deep down they're afraid God didn't hear them the first time. But that's not faith. That's fear disguised as persistence. Jesus said your Father knows what you need. If he knows and he loves you and he's all-powerful, then why are you praying like you have to twist his arm? Faith doesn't mean praying harder. It means praying once with confidence, then trusting God to move in his timing. Mark 11:24 says, What things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Believe that you receive them, not beg until you receive them. Not panic until you receive them. Believe, that's faith. And faith doesn't need 1,000 words. It just needs a surrendered heart. Fourth, pray with listening, not just talking. This is the part most people skip entirely. We treat prayer like a one-way conversation. We talk, we ask, we list our needs, and then we say amen and walk away. But prayer is supposed to be a dialogue. After you speak, be quiet. Wait, listen. God speaks in the stillness. In 1 Kings 19, God wasn't in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire. He was in the still, small voice. If you're always talking, you'll never hear it. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is sit in silence before God and just be present. No agenda, no requests, just you and Him. You'd be amazed what He'll reveal when you stop filling the space with noise. And finally, pray with obedience, not just words. James 1:22 says, "Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only." The same applies to prayer. You can pray all day, but if you're not willing to act on what God shows you, your prayers become meaningless. Jesus didn't just pray, He obeyed. In the garden He prayed, "Not my will, but thine be done." And then He walked straight into the hardest moment of His life because that's what obedience required. If you're praying for direction but ignoring the nudges God gives you, you're wasting your breath. If you're praying for provision but refusing to be generous, you're missing the point. Prayer without obedience is just religious noise. So here's the truth. Stop praying harder. Start praying better. Stop trying to impress God with your words. Start trusting Him with your heart. He's not counting your sentences. He's listening for your surrender. Matthew 6:8 is clear. Your Father knows what you need before you ask. So pray like you believe that. Pray with confidence. Pray with simplicity. Pray with faith. And then trust Him to do what only He can do. If this shifted something in you today, share it with someone who's been stuck in the same cycle. And if you want more truth that cuts through the noise and brings you back to what Jesus actually taught, subscribe to Bible Unfeeded. God is not waiting for you to say the right thing. He's waiting for you to trust Him completely.